Welcome back. Last time we left off on the scene where everyone was heading to the karaoke bar, and as soon as they entered, Yang Chao was already showing off his wealth as yelled for the biggest and best hall. The King's Hall is occupied by a very important man for entertainment, and he is a distinguished guest. How about you take the Queen's Hall? Replied the manager. It is of high grade as well, that I assure. However, Yang Chao's lackeys were not satisfied about the Queen's Hall, as one asked distinguished guests. Aren't we distinguished enough for you? Give us the King's Hall, another said. Do you really want to disappoint our brother Chao? And chanted, King's Hall, our brother is king. However, Yang Chao, at the other hand, wasn't really bothered by it as he didn't want to cause too much trouble, and as long as it was big enough, then he had no problems. However, feeling the pressure from his girlfriend as well, he tried to act cool in front of everyone, as he tried to persuade the manager once more as he asked him to do him a favor, and his father runs a 5-star hotel, so he would owe him one in the future. But the manager still did not relent, suggesting that the Queen's Hall is also good enough. One of Yang Chao's friends got aggressive as he went on to the manager and gave him a slap asking where his boss was exactly, which also shocked everyone, including Ranran, as there was no reason to cause trouble, as she suggested to everyone to leave and forget about the place to go somewhere else. However, Meng Meng reassured her that if there is any trouble, the Chao's father would run to help as he knows a lot of people. Chen Fan, though, knew that it wasn't going to be so easy as trouble seemed to be brewing, which made him warn Ranran that it was time to head back home as he promised her mother to take care of her. However, the blonde girl took a liking to what Chen said, of course, as she thought he was trying to take Ranran away before the party even began, and Yang Chao took the opportunity to embarrass our MC, saying that he could leave if he wanted. However, he must let Ranran decide for herself, and with so much pressure on her, she just yielded to her best friend's request to stay, and told off the MC to leave and go home by himself, and inform her mother about it. Meng Meng then thanked her by kissing her on the cheek for choosing her side, and she turned to Chen Fan. Well, you heard her. Off you go, Chen. However, the ever-so-kind Xu Rongfei stood up for our MC, asking Ranran on why she was embarrassing him like that, and she just made the excuse that Meng Meng would be mad with her otherwise. What an ungrateful girl, Chen said to himself, as he was only trying to help her, and then kept to himself as someone seemed to be heading their way, wanting to see how they would deal with the situation. We are then shown a lot of men in black who came down to access the situation, and their pack ladder was a bold guy with a scar on his face who asked angrily as to who was the one who caused trouble and dared to hit the lobby manager. Then the arrogant lackey of Yang Chao came out and proudly announced that he was the one who did it, not knowing the kind of trouble he was setting himself up to, and the bold man was happy to hear that, as he saved much time, and in the next second, he ordered the men in black to capture the guy as the boss wants to see him. The blonde guy, however, screamed in indignation, asking whether they knew he was, and Yang Chao intervened to save his friend as he was trying to come up with a solution for the problem. You dare to make trouble on the boss's turf? Guess we will have to take you to talk with the boss, said the bold guy. Fine, we will go see your boss. Just put him down, Yang Chao pleaded. The lackey who was causing trouble was now sweating heavily as he realized they were in big trouble, asking Chao what to do now, and Yang Chao just gave him a false hope by saying that they outnumbered them, and there was no reason to panic. Ranran now also began to worry once more, asking what's going to happen, but still her friend was relying on Yang Chao's father to help them. Chen Fan was just enjoying the scene from behind, smiling to himself as he wondered how Chao will handle the situation, and on they went to the King's Hall towards the boss, and as they entered the hall, they saw the boss waiting for them, as he had a girl besides him sitting on his lap. Sir, I have brought them to you, said the bold guy. Hey, big brother, we want to borrow your King's Hall tonight, Yang Chao pleaded arrogantly, and the boss man was now curious at who the guy was asking for his name. My name is Yang Chao, and my father is Yang Yifan of Tiansheng Hotel. Do me a favor. Huh? You? Even your father would humbly call me Brother Hao when he sees me. Yang Chao was now panicking even more by hearing his name as asked once more for clarification on his real name, and the boss laughed, saying his name was Zhou Tianhao, which shocked everyone. And they began to become fearful just from the mention of his name. Chen Fan was even thinking to himself that Brother Hao is the big boss, who has his hand reached out to both black and white, with extraordinary background and ability. You people seem to be hoity-toity, but just a second or third tier group in Chuzhou. Why the smugness? The boss inquired, and one of the bodyguards took it upon himself to knee the guy who was causing trouble earlier and said to him, "You were so great, huh?" However, the guy is even more cowardly now as he begged for his life. "No, big brother, I'm sorry, spare me, please. Spare you? Okay, chop your hand off and maybe I will spare you." On the other hand, Yang Chao was sweating bullets as he knew that things were not going to go as planned, and even though his lackey deserves it, he has to stand up for him, or he will lose his reputation. He then said out loud to Brother Hao that it was all their fault, and then apologized, asking him to not take it too far. Brother Hao agreed to his proposition as he dined with his father a few times, and he can do him a little favor, which made Yang Chao glad as he thought he resolved the situation. However, the boss had another thing in mind as he asked for the 3 girls to stay and have a drink with him in return, which naturally shocked the girls as they were not expecting it, and Yang Chao, still playing protector, asked to be lenient as one of the girls is his girlfriend, telling him that he couldn't just leave her behind, which also made the boss furious at his many requests as he threw the class he held onto the ground, shouting for him to cut the crap and do as told, as the atmosphere became even more tense as everyone shrieked in fear as they could not challenge the big boss if Chuzhou, crying for their departure. The girl who was sitting on the boss's lap stood up to pour some wine and invited the girls to step forward and have a drink as the boss does not bite. "Decide quickly," yelled the bold guy, which got them even more riled up. Even Ranran was thinking to herself that it seems like they can't avoid a little humiliation, as her father is also a respected name in Chuzhou, and he works for the government too, thinking that Brother Hao won't do anything to her if she goes to him, and decided that she had to stay so that the others go be out safely as she gathered her courage to speak up, which interrupted by Chen Fan as he held a hand across her and told the boss that 2 of the girls are his friends, so he should also do him a favor and let them go. "What are you doing? Are you out of your mind?" "It will be settled as long as I drink with him and he gets an apology," yelled Ranran, which naturally amused Brother Hao as he asked Chen Fan, who he thought he was, to ask him for a favor, and he replied, "I'm someone you can't afford to mess with." And Brother Hao laughed hard at his statement. "You are someone I cannot offend? Is there anyone in Chuzhou that I cannot offend?" "Boy, because of what you said, you will not be able to walk out of the door in one piece," which made the girls fall into despair as they thought now things were getting out of control, wondering what they should as Chen Fan might die now, not knowing how RMC is the GOAT. Brother Hao ordered his best man, the bold guy whose name was Biao, to kick the hell out of Chen Fan, and he happily obliged. As Biao is the #1 fighter of Zhou Tianhao, he is the man who had gotten out of military prison by Zhou. He's short-tempered and was sentenced to prison for badly injuring his trainer in the army. He greatly contributed to the achievements of Brother Hao over the past 10 years. It then shifts back to the fight as he was preparing a blow against our MC as he swung a fist towards his face, which made the ever-so-kind Xu Rongfei to worry about Chen's fate as he yelled at him to watch out. However, he wasn't fazed as he reassured her that there was no need to worry, and while the fist was coming at him, Biao was bussed, explaining how his fists can break a hole through a wooden wall, confident that he couldn't stop it. However, Chen simply blocked it with his strength, and Biao shrieked back in pain. Feeling the strength of our MC, he was surprised that he could get hurt, wondering if Chen studied kung fu, saying no wonder why he was so bold as he then wore knuckles behind his back. "Interesting boy, let's take it seriously now." And so the battle began. Biao swooped in for a right hook. However, Chen Fan dodged it and looked to counter, saying, since the guy was being so brutal, then the guy must not blame him for being ruthless, as he countered with a powerful kick on his chest, shocking everyone. As he was coughing blood and he thumbed on the floor, Brother Hao was also shocked as his best fighter was just defeated with one blow and shouted for his other men to stop watching and just attack him all at once. They heeded the boss's orders and pulled out knives to prepare for an attack, however. Our boy wasn't fazed at all as he sighed, calling them a bunch of fools as he suddenly dashed through them with great speed, attacking them one by one as they all slammed to the floor with pain clinching the areas they were damaged, moaning. He won? What is this, a drama show? Meng Meng wondered. After he dealt with the guys, he then confidently sat across Brother Hao, asking him on how he saw him now after everything, and Brother Hao was thinking to himself that our boy could beat a dozen of his best men, saying how he has been in Chojo for more than 10 years, but has never seen suck skills like that before. He still tried to play it cool, though, as he admitted that Chen Fan got some skills. But how would he fare against a gun, as it's the modern era right now, and excellent kung fu skills are not so intimidating? I can get you thrown in jail with a single call, he said. On the other hand, Chen Fan was thinking to himself on whether he was really threatening him, and if so, he could just use magic techniques to kill him quickly. But before anything, our boy asked Brother Hao to first let his friends and the others to go, then they can both have fun afterwards, and he agreed, grinning about the fact that he cannot wait to see our MC squirm. The guys who came with Chen cowardly ran as if they were not the ones causing trouble, leaving Chen behind. But only one person was willing to stay behind, as she was worried for our MC, the perfect waifu Shu Rongfei. However, the arrogant Ranran was the one who was holding her back from staying, as she forcibly pulled her out of the king's hall, as she was thinking that no matter how confident he is, not everything is settled by fighting. After the departure of everyone, our boy became more relaxed, as now he can even show off his magical powers. But he was interrupted by a phone call, as it was Xia Qi, the bodyguard of the old man, as he was wondering why Chen Fan was not at the pickup location since he has a checkup with the old man, and he just told him he cannot be at the pickup location now. Since he ran into some bit of trouble, the bodyguard was now on full alert, as he asked our boy where exactly is he at that moment, as he could come and sort out the problem he is facing, asking who exactly is giving him trouble. Chen then told him that it Brother Hao, and after hearing the name, the bodyguard then got furious as he told our boy to wait for 10 minutes and he will definitely be there, then hung up the call. On the other hand, Brother Hao was still mocking the MC, as he thought no one would dare to cause a fuss in his presence, even whomever the MC was on a call with. But Chen Fan just told him to wait for 10 minutes. Then all will resolved, as the boss guy agreed, as he didn't mind, still thinking he was at the top. Oh, how wrong he was. As after some time there was noise outside, as someone was budging into the king's hall, shouting for no one to stop him, and entered. And soon as he did, the ever-so-confident boss Hao was now cowering in fear, as it was Brother Qi, the old man's bodyguard, asking Brother Qi what he was doing there. But Brother Qi didn't pay much mind to at first, as he inquired about the well-being of our, and he just responded that who would even dare hurt him, and after the inquiry he turned his attention to Boss Hao, who we will now call Mr. Hao, as it was shown who was boss now. He shouted at Hao for daring to cause trouble for our boy, as he is the old man's friend, which naturally shocked Hao, as the Wei family is powerful, and he was also relying on them, continuing to elaborate that it was even the old man himself who sent him to pick Chen Fan for dinner, asking whether he thought he was lying by saying that, and he hastily denied the fact of not believing him, knowing he would be doomed if he said otherwise, and immediately bowed in respect to our MC, apologizing for not recognizing that our boy was the old man's friend, which also shocked the girl next to him, as it was the first time he sees Brother Hao bowing to someone, as she always thought Brother Hao had a backer, and it turned out the backer was our boy's friend now. Then Brother Qi asked the MC on how they should deal with the situation. However, since our MC was so benevolent, he decided to spare Brother Hao, since the bodyguard was familiar with him and directly told Brother Hao that if he wasn't satisfied, then he is always ready for a fight any time. And Brother Hao got intimidated, as he wouldn't dare to even think about it, as they then later departed, which made Brother Hao feel relieved at the fact that they left. After that, the scene shifted to the house of the Wei family, and as soon as Chen Fan got out the car, he was immediately impressed by the big yard as the later entered the house of the Wei, as he was greeted by the sight of the old man and the granddaughter, and casting a glance at our MC, the girl was a bit surprised that our boy was not holding any medicinal supplies or equipment, since he came to treat his grandfather. However, Chen Fan just replied that his treatment doesn't really need any acupuncture or manipulation therapy. And after that, he was seen handing a piece of paper to the old man, as the old man was also wondering what he was gifting him. And as he looked at the paper handed to him, he was immediately stunned and lost for words for a short period of time, as her granddaughter was also wondering what was getting the old man all riled up, as he suddenly bowed at our boy for the gift gifted to him, thanking him for his kindness, pledging that he will never forget it. However, Chen was humble as always, as he just told him to not mention it at all, as he got his injury defending the country, and he can't turn a blind eye now that they have met. And as the girl was trying to help the grandfather stand upright, she asked why he was giving such a salute to our boy without any reason. However, the old man did not try to explain to her as he asked the MC to do the honors for him, as he accepted and started explaining to the girl that her grandfather's injury consists of two parts. One is that he forced himself to use inner strength, then got injured and has not been treated, so his injury is in his lungs and cannot be healed. And the other reason is that there is a problem to the inner strength he produces, which hurt his lungs. The slight injury he circulated every time has accumulated into a big one. "So you are saying there is something wrong with my lungs as well?" asked the girl, theoretically, but your cultivation is too shallow to reach such a degree, and the girl was relieved that now he has to thank her shallow cultivation, then thanked our boy. Comment down below if you think our boy got a new waifu. The old man then said that when he first learned his martial arts from his family, they also mentioned the problem. However, he thought it was luck to have inner strength arts to practice at the time, saying that who cared if it would injure his lungs or not, and patting his granddaughter on the head, he said that if she hadn't wanted to learn the martial arts so badly, then he would have taken the secret of the defective arts to his grave. However, Mr. Chen gave him the booklet, which contains the revision of the defect even many levels higher, which also stunned the girl as she does not remember teaching him their family arts. So how did he figure out the way to revise it? And the old man responded by saying that is what's great about a master of martial arts, as he can just tell by looking at him and immediately know about it roughly. However, Chen Fan reminded them again that he is a Dao cultivator. The old man still continued, though, saying that with such abilities, he is as great as a master. After that, Chen Fan took out the pills he had prepared, explaining that they are spirit-enhancing pills, and he must take all 10 of them on time, coordinating with the revised arts, and he will be okay. But unfortunately, the ingredients of the spirit-enhancing pills are extremely rare, and how they can even bring back the dead, saying lung injuries are definitely not a big problem. But by saying that, it kind of angered the girl a little bit as she furiously grabbed out the pills out our MC hands, as she thought that he was bragging by saying how can pills bring back the dead to life, saying it is just a made-up fairy tale. However, Chen didn't try to even convince her much, as it was her choice to believe him or not. After that, the old man then asked our boy if he could at least tell them about the ingredients so he can ask his men to collect them for him, and Chen agreed, as he knew no one could refine them anyways but him. Then he took a brush upon his hands and began listing the ingredients needed, as he was also explaining to us that the pills, like spirit-enhancing pills, must be refined with exclusive methods of the immortal realm, and a layman couldn't make it even if they tried 1,000,000 times. Old Man Wei later also confirmed, after looking at the list, that the materials do seem hard to collect even for their Wei family. But still, they will try their best, and after everything said, Chen Fan wanted to inquire about the martial arts realm the old man kept talking about, which the old man Wei was expecting, telling him to ask away. But it was not fully disclosed at that moment, as the scene shifts to the MC on the car as he was recalling what the old man was saying about the martial arts realm, and his explanation went as follows. The inheritance of martial arts has a long history, and legend has it that originally it was a key refining technique. But he doesn't know much. After all, for him, practicing martial arts is just a family inheritance and an interest, which was revised, upgraded, and developed into all kinds of different inner strength arts, also attack and defense art. The last most prosperous time for the martial arts realm was the end of the Ning dynasty and the beginning of the Qing dynasty. When experts and masters came forth in large numbers, later guns and cannons rose and martial arts began to fall. Now, master-level martial arts have become rare. There are 3 stages of a martial artist: outer strength, inner strength, and sublimity. Most of the practitioners now are in the first stage, very few in the second, and as for the sublimity master with gang key protection that can defend against firearms apart from Chen, he has only just seen one, and it is said that there is another level above the sublimity, but no one has ever seen it. And Chen was saying to himself that whatever the old man said has nothing to do with him anyways, and with a certain key on his hand which was given to him, which was rather nice and convenient as he felt he deserved it since he has the confidence of a retribution-enduring immortal sovereign. Then the scene shifts to the Wei family once more as the girl was inquiring to her grandfather about the key the old man gifted to our boy, as it is a key of the top-level house of the Yunwu Villa. Since it was a present from the richest man of Chuzhou to the third uncle, and he gave it to him, while accepting that Chen Fan did indeed heal his injury, but was it necessary to give him such an expensive house? However, the old man was very serious as he told the girl that she doesn't seem to understand anything, as the revised arts given alone is priceless, which made her realize a bit, and moreover she has no idea what it is to be a master of martial arts. However, she was still insistent on asking what was so great about a master of martial arts, thinking it made no difference, asking if they can resist bullets, cannons, or even missiles. But the old man just patted her on the head and told her that it is not as simple as that, as Chen Fan is on par with the military legend Yamantain. And even though he is so young, they must definitely keep him on their side. Yamantain? The girl wondered. Oh, I see. Chen Fan is destined to be extraordinary, saying that while looking up with light beaming around her, creating a heartwarming picture. The scene then shifts once more to our MC, while he was being dropped off at his destination by Brother Tuai. As he followed his instruction according to his arrangement, they are not going to Yunwu Villa. So at the moment they are at the lakeside community, which satisfied Chen Fan. And while he was stepping out of the car, his phone rang, and the person behind the phone call was none other than
Ran herself, who wanted to invite our boy for dinner. To know more about what is going to happen next, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time.